Welcome to the Curly Hair Q&A Show. I am your host, Melanie Nickels, and I'm here with Melanie Nickels. She is the founder of the Raw Hair Organic Salon in beautiful Naples, Florida. It's one of the top curly hair salons in the country, and Melanie is one of the top curl and color experts anywhere in the world. She is also the founder of the Raw Curls brand of natural and organic curly hair products that can be found at rawhairorganics.com. So welcome this evening for show number 161 if you've been following along. And how are you today, Melanie?
Well, I'm kind of tired, actually. It's been a crazy day running around and dealing with things going on and the coronavirus and all that craziness.
So crazy. Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff going on around here. So we've got another guest this evening. We've got a lot to go over, and we're going to try to do some live streaming questions as we did last week. Hold on just a quick second. Hey, that group you showed me is wrong. The one you pointed to me, that's wrong. That ain't it. What did I tell you on your list? Take a look at that.
Yeah, so
That's not YouTube, that's
I've been
Facebook.
chasing around, believe it or not, trying to find toilet paper. I guess, we're going to have people bring their own, or maybe we, might have to say the restroom is not available. It's closed. I don't know what we're going to do because eventually we are going to run out.
Yeah, hopefully we get some in maybe, but we're running really low here as well. So anyway, for those of you who maybe are new this evening, we are an award-winning podcast as well. 2019 number 2 podcast that you must subscribe to in the hair industry. You can find us live streaming this evening in a number of places. On Facebook in the Curly Girl support group, the Diva Curl Users support group, correct? And the Curly Girl Method product swap group. You can also, for your best user experience, you can live stream us tonight on YouTube on the Curly Hair Q&A Show channel. You can check that out. The audio is really good there. The video is really good there. So best place to find it. Also, all the past shows are also on that channel, and they are archived there as well. We're also live streaming on Instagram at Raw Curls. Hey, Instagram. Great. Thanks for joining us this evening. Let's see, where else are we? I think that's it for live streaming. Yeah, we're cutting back on a couple of things for live streaming. In the past, we had been doing it in the Curly Hair Specialist Professional group, and on Facebook, in the Curly Hair Q&A group, but the participation level was low, so we're not going to monitor it. It just doesn't make any sense for us to monitor it and keep the bandwidth up, so we can actually concentrate more people down to these 4 or 5 different platforms, and it's easier for us to monitor and know where everybody is, and that way we can answer questions and we can monitor technical issues as well. So also, this show as a podcast tomorrow morning will be available typically by midnight tonight. It'll be available, and you can find it anywhere that you consume podcasts, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, Podcast Addict. Hold on. What?
No sound on Instagram?
Okay.
No sound, you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, hold
we'll
it.
try to get it fixed. Okay.
Okay. All right. We're gonna get started. We're gonna see if we can get the sound fixed on Instagram. Lionel, not getting any
Why
not getting
is
any
there
sound.
always a problem on Instagram?
I don't know. Not sure. And it doesn't make any sense because it is it's on the same. It's owned by the same people that own Facebook, so it makes no sense that one is good and one's not.
Like a problem.
I don't know. I don't understand. So anyway, they're going to work on it and see what they can do. So, got a fun fact for us this evening. We got the whole family here tonight. As a matter of fact, Murphy's here as well.
Yeah, we're ready for St. Patty's Day, even though nothing's happening because they've canceled everything. But
They sure have.
You've got your green shirt on. I didn't wear my green shirt. I got my green dress, and I got a little boa here. But yes, we're not Irish anyway.
No, we're not.
So
but I have my green
nobody
shirt
is.
on.
Is
So
anybody?
somebody
we
is.
know a couple Irish people. But
Yeah, we do.
yeah.
No, and I love corned beef and cabbage, but I'm not getting it.
No,
not getting it. No.
because it's tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a lot of people not getting it. But anyway, we're going to concentrate on on mostly good, fun stuff. So with our guests tonight, yeah. And we've got guests for the next, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. We have guests every week. So it's been a busy couple of months. And I'd like to thank you guys. We also just this afternoon on our podcasting platform for the Curly Hair Q&A show, we just reached another huge milestone. So congratulations to you guys. It's
thank you.
Yeah, we are now ranking in
audio.
Yeah, now we're ranking in about the top 25% of all podcasts.
Wow,
it's really pretty cool.
Awesome.
Hey, so how are we, Lionel? How are we
audio.
doing on sound everywhere other than Instagram? Hello. Can you ask Helen or something?
I just think I fixed it.
The audio on Instagram.
On Instagram. Instagram, can you guys tell us?
Hello. Can
Tell
you
us
hear
what you see. Tell us what you hear.
Instagram.
Can you see anything? Can your eyes see that far?
They're saying no audio.
Takes a couple of seconds for it to catch up.
Hopefully they're getting.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. Tell if you would, Lionel. Tell Helen she should be monitoring that, and for her to, relay that information to you so you can relay it to us so we know.
You guys, can you tell us and put another message up there if there is audio now on Instagram?
Yep, so we know.
I don't see any new messages coming up.
Okay.
Now it seems like it's actually frozen.
No, it seems like it's going. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll get going here. Lionel and Helen, you guys make sure and handle that, please. Okay, let's see. All right, before we get started, we got a couple of quick things we have to go over. I'm just going to bring this up once, and we're not going to talk anymore about it because we're going to stay positive about this. But if you happen to be in a position where you're maybe considering your immune system now and maybe boosting your immune system, something I've been talking about for almost a year now on the RawganX private inner circle page, you can grab a jar or 2 or 3 of RawganX super green juice powder. Here it is. The organic USDA organic certified green juice with 11 of the world's top superfoods, which is the stuff that Melanie and I take every day, and I did during my 3 bouts of cancer. So used it to build up my immune system, and ta-da, here we are almost 16 years later. So for what it's worth, I'm not going to concentrate on it or anything. Just wanted to bring that up. You can find that at rawganx.com. Somebody in my office here will type out how to spell that web address so you can check it out if you'd like to. But
they're
anyway.
saying still no Instagram sound.
Okay, good. Okay. All right, we'll let them work on it.
Talk about this?
All right, we're going to talk about that next. Let me go over one more thing.
Okay.
Also, the end of this month. So as of right now, so don't fill up the feed with comments about it. We know, but as of this point right now, we are still running the 29th and 30th of March, a Raw Curls Academy 2-day workshop for licensed professional hairstylists. You will learn wet cutting, dry cutting, and individual curl cutting as well. It's a hands-on workshop with lecture taught by one of the top curl specialists in the entire world and creator of the Raw Curls cutting system, Mrs. Melanie Nickels, sitting next to me right here in the green. For more information, you can email orders at rawhairorganics.com, or if you just want to sign up and make sure you get a spot, we got a couple spots left, you can go to rawcurls.com/academy. And we've got some other classes coming up the rest of this year. The class that's supposed to be coming up that we talked about last week or the week before, was it last week we talked about? Yes. The class with Miss Sherry Harbinger, the former Diva Curl Academy co-founder, was supposed to be the last week of April. We had a discussion about this in the last day, and we're going to reschedule it due to everything that's going on. So yeah, we announced it, and less than 7 days later rescheduled it. It is what it is. So that's why I said this. As of right now, we've, for the class at the end of March here in Naples, I would, if you're within a day driving distance of us, I'm just going to leave it at that. We're just going to play it by ear. But at this point, knowing Melanie, she has no intentions of canceling this class at this point.
No, this is already a rescheduled class.
This is a rescheduled
so
class.
I'm not canceling. If the people that have signed up choose to not come, that's fine, and I honor that. We'll work it out. That's not a problem.
But you're going to be there.
But I'm going to be there, and I'm not canceling.
This whole thing over the last week or two of these classes and all the scheduling and the canceling and whatever and everything we've seen at some of these big hair shows across the country. Largest hair show last week in the entire country for the professional beauty industry in New York City canceled last minute, literally the day of move-in.
Yeah,
which is huge.
They're talking about big crowds, people from coming all over.
Yeah, which I get. I totally get it.
Actually, I feel like this is probably the safest time to travel on a plane because there's not going to be anybody on there. You'll be the only one, and they've ramped up their, sanitation, whatever they're doing.
Yeah, they're actually wiping down those trays.
They're actually cleaning, the planes, and they're running, they're ramping up their, purifiers and everything.
I'm on the podcast.
And also, the salon, too, actually is, mine. I'm not going to speak for anybody else, is like really safe because mine is small. There's not many people there ever altogether. We are always sanitizing. I have APA hospital grade disinfectants that we use constantly.
Is that what you have in your hand there?
Yeah, that's what I have in my hand. And actually, this says it kills viruses in just 4 minutes. So, we're constantly sanitizing, disinfecting, wiping down. I mean, I'm really OCD. Julie would confirm that about keeping the salon clean, disinfected, and we're always washing our hands and we're not sick. So anyway, it was we were kind of joking about it because we thought nobody's canceling their hair appointments. Everybody's coming to get their hair done. But now today it started, we got some cancellations. But anyway, a few of those people do have health conditions and compromised immune systems. So I understand that. But anyway,
we had no cancellations up until today.
Yeah, up
None.
until today. So, but we're still going strong, and hopefully people will be able to still come in because I do, feel like it's a safe environment.
Yeah. That's why I was going to bring up the what would be, and too bad it's not a year later if we had to deal with this, because the new Raw Curls Academy building would hopefully be done in the Curl Institute, and we could just do it on site, and it would be a whole lot easier, and it'd be easier to control, anything crazy,
my
is what it is.
So little, we, don't have that many people really coming. On the scale of things.
Yeah.
We're busy, but, it's not like we have a 26-chair salon that we have, 100 people at one time.
Right. We don't have that. So anyway, all right. So moving on. Also, I believe I'm covered. But if you're interested in being a model and getting a free curly cut and style and lunch, and maybe even a sample pack of some products, you can contact me at ken@rawhairorganics.com. I think I have enough right now, but if I don't, you can message me, send me an email, send me a Facebook message, and if I do need someone, I'll put you on my list.
You think you have enough models?
I believe so at this point.
Oh, okay.
If I'm trying to make sure that everybody that's supposed to be coming is coming.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So anyway.
I have 2 young girls.
Okay. All right. One last thing I want to throw out there, just because, and we don't do this very often because it doesn't happen really, really often. I know a lot of you know that we manufacture an organic and natural skincare product line too. That's really, really good. We've been talking about it for probably 2 years now. And we don't really push it or whatever, but it's just something that we have. It's available on our site and whatever. But I've told everybody it's really, really good. And one of the things that I've been saying forever, and I know a lot of people roll their eyes and thought I was full of crapola when I said that our vitamin C stem cell serum is exactly the same as the serum that the Ritz-Carlton Spa sells throughout the country for $400 an ounce. Wow. And ours is literally the same. Might even be a little bit better. Honest to God, it is exactly the same. People are like, whatever, you're always trying to pitch. I'm like, no, the line is really good. People that use it will tell you it's a really good line. Well, I don't have to do that anymore, and Melanie doesn't have to do that anymore because, would you like to hold this up, Melanie, for the people to see? This showed up in the mail today. Woo-hoo. Look at that. Yay. We Organic Spa Magazine named us the best. What is it? I can't read that fast, Lionel. got to stay up more than 2 seconds. Best natural and organic beauty and personal care products. Raw Hair Organic. See it for 2019. Organic Spa Magazine. Best of class.
Yes.
Pretty cool, eh?
Yeah. Well,
We make really good stuff. Yo.
That's why we don't look 50 and 55.
That's why we don't look 50 and 55. But yeah, best natural, organic, beauty, personal care products right there. Huh.
You know, it's true. And actually,
Pretty cool.
I get people that compliment my skin all the time. And I always, that's my answer. It's my skincare because it's made a huge difference in my skin. I used to have a crease that went across my forehead. I'm not a believer in Botox, whatever, each their own, but I would never do that myself. So, but, it literally takes away those creases, gets rid of brown spots. It's an anti-aging line that's not heavy and greasy because I crossed over into needing the anti-aging benefits, but I have more oily skin. So that's the whole concept of the line is to help with the things that we need as we're getting older. But I didn't want it to be those heavy, greasy ingredients because I'm already kind of oily. So.
Yeah.
It works. And it's true.
It does.
I have so many clients that are like really particular. They were skeptical, and they might buy like one or two things. And they've all come back and said, this is the best skincare I've ever used. I love it. And they buy more.
Yep.
So I've got husbands of clients using it. And, like you said, I'm not pushy about it.
I'm not either. Like I said, it really was something that we started just kind of pushing in our circles, just kind of, hey,
remember?
You didn't even want to do it. Melanie didn't even want to do it when we started. Because it's work. People don't realize it's a lot of work.
Skincare is really, I know for myself, it's really touchy because people have more sensitivities with their skincare than even hair care. So I just was not, really wanting to go down that road, but we did.
Yeah. Somebody said this to me this afternoon after I was talking about this, and it's and it was I took it as a really good compliment. Is that you're the only ones that we've seen or that they had seen that actually walk the talk when they say they make the best stuff. We do, and that is kind of cool in a humble kind of way. I don't mean it in a bragging kind of way. So. And
the other thing about the skin, that's not my specialty. I'm not an esthetician. I am a cosmetologist, so I can do skin and hair and makeup. But that's not what I concentrate on. So, now things are so specialized, so anyway, but I'm glad that we did it because it is a really great line and people love it.
And now people are noticing.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you. All right. Are we ready to bring our guest on? Is our guest ready? Can I introduce our guest, Lionel? Lionel?
She's ready.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, tonight we have our original guest tonight. We were supposed to have on from Malibu Sea, Global Education Artistic Director Missy Bender-Peterson, who I've interviewed in the past before. If you look on our YouTube channel, you'll find an interview that I did with her a couple of years back. But she contacted me this afternoon after planning this for a few weeks, and she has fallen ill. So luckily, she reached out and brought us Miss Georgia Reed to take her place. She is a Malibu Sea artist and educator from the great state of Illinois. So welcome to the Curly Hair Q&A show. Georgia, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, Georgia.
Doing fantastic.
Good.
Awesome.
Great. Wonderful. Well, thank you for stepping in last minute. We really appreciate it. And
no problem.
Good. Well, thank you very much. So, let's start out. If you could tell the people watching and listening tonight, tell us about you and who you are and your background and what your specialty is and your level of expertise, and then we'll get into questions.
Oh, let's talk about myself. Okay.
Talk about yourself.
Right.
It's always
I've
fun.
been doing hair for about 6 years now. I live in a smaller town, northern Illinois. It's about 2 hours west of Chicago.
What town is that?
Sterling, Illinois. We're actually the town that Wall Clipper is founded in.
Sure.
So, fun fact. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I've been doing this for 6 years. I am mainly a color specialist. I do a lot of color corrections. I'm actually in my salon right now, finishing up one of those as we speak.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Not stopping me. This virus isn't stopping me yet.
Yeah,
So,
you go, girl. Me either.
day by day. So yeah, mainly color corrections. I love color. I joined Malibu. I think it was about going on 4 years. Been about 3 years now. Started off as just an educator, and then I started traveling nationally with them. And then we started our artistic team. So I do stage work for them at hair shows. We do hair on stage, and I teach classes and all that kind of fun stuff. So I was actually an independent educator with my best friend, who was also a former Malibu educator, 2 years ago, and we did a class called Perfecting Placement, and we travel all around the United States teaching that in salons for stylists.
Cool.
So yeah.
Too bad the Chicago Hair Show was canceled, right?
It has not been canceled yet.
Oh,
Not as
Chicago is. Oh, wow.
I know.
I was supposed to make an announcement today, but I have not heard anything.
I have not
So
seen it
weird.
either.
Because they canceled the
Yeah.
Orlando show, which is not even until June.
June. Yeah.
Wow. Well, good.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they're waiting, and they're giving it every opportunity to happen if it can happen. So.
Are you planning on teaching there? Are you on stage?
I am actually planning. I have like 2 classes per day, so we'll
Nice.
see what happens because I'm supposed to be teaching there. But I guess we'll see.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay. Well, great. Well, thanks for joining us. Obviously, we have a lot of questions tonight that came from listeners and viewers, and it's obviously, the majority of them are specific to curly hair, but at the same time, a lot of them are not, because we have a lot of questions regarding mineral buildup, and I've come to believe, even with everything that's been happening in the curly hair world over the last several months, I've really come to believe that that mineral and hard water buildup is equally, if not more prevalent than product buildup on hair, and especially on curly hair as well. So I think we've got an interesting lineup of questions. Do you want to start off with anything, Melanie, or do you want me to go right into viewer questions with Georgia?
Well, there's a lot of questions actually that could come up. Because the line used to be very simple, and now they've added so many different products. In fact, I just saw this one tonight, this Curl Partner, so that looks like another new product. But I think there's a lot of honest.
Been around. That's a product that's been around for a long time.
Yeah, we have not seen this. I had not seen this till a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
So that's not one that I honestly have worked with. I've worked with some of the other packets, and then of course the Undo Goo. That's really, I guess those are the big ones that I use. Some of the now the color correctors, those are awesome. But when I started, I've been doing hair 23 years. So again, the line was very simple, and now it's, becoming very, broadened. And there's so many choices. So why don't you tell us a little bit the difference between, because to me, a lot of the packets, even when you read them, they sound similar. And so if you can give us kind of a briefing of some of the differences.
Well, what we could do, just to be specific to curly hair, is that, Georgia, you probably don't know this, but I got, this was sent to me about 2 weeks ago. I got from, I forgot her name. It starts with a J.
Jennifer?
I can't remember. She's from the corporate office. She's, I can't remember her name. Darn it. I should have wrote it down. Anyway, she sent me a number of things that she personally recommended that we should be talking about for curly hair. And so I'm going to open up, kind of 2 of these boxes.
Yeah, and thank you to
take a look.
Malibu as well. Yes, because we had a hard time getting some product. I was going to the supply stores, and they never seemed to be really stocked. And I said, I need an order of like 25, and they told me they couldn't get it. It was so odd. So I'm like, okay, never mind. We'll just go straight to the company, and they came through for us. So that was awesome.
Yeah. Well, let's.
Ordering off the website is absolutely a thing you can do at any time.
Okay, good.
As well as client.
That's good to know.
Okay. Well, let's talk about a couple of these things here, and then we'll get into the questions, just because they. We don't know enough about this, and ultimately we want everybody to be up to speed on it. So she sent me a 2-pack of the Malibu Makeover. And if you can see this, if you're watching on live stream, you can see this. It's a little box, and it comes with 2 packets in it, and it's got a crystal gel and the Miracle Repair. The other packet that we got that was sent to us that was recommended for people with curly hair is the Curl Partner. So to start with, why don't you talk to us about these 3 things and tell us how curly girls would use these, and probably to start with, why they'd want to use these. Tell us about these, and then we'll get deeper into questions about specific brands and where your product line fits in this segment of the industry.
Okay. So starting off, where you have your Malibu Makeover, the crystal gel is basically our beginning of everything. This is where you're going to start to, if you have water and you wash your hair in water, that's where you're going to start. It's an in-salon treatment, and your stylist is going to do it for you. We like to call this going to the dentist. So any mineral buildup that is on your hair, this is going to remove the most amount of that mineral buildup, and as well as medications, any of that on the hair. So that's going to give you the most deep cleaning. As we know, like, well, science, hair has a negative charge, minerals have positive charge, and you can't stop them from connecting. So minerals just automatically connect to the hair. So we need to break that charge. That's what the vitamin C in our packets do, is it breaks that charge between the mineral and the hair. So that's going to remove all of that buildup from the hair to just give you a clean canvas.
Wow.
That second packet in there.
Hold on.
Hold on.
So fast.
We're looking through.
Does this, do you know, have like a certain pH level?
The second one or the first one?
The first one.
The crystal gel.
Mm-hmm.
It sits at about a 3, and when you put it under heat, because it's processed under heat for like about 45 minutes, is what we recommend for your first time. It's going to raise that pH level up a little bit, but it sits at a more acidic level when it's first put on. But the heat raises it a little bit. Yeah,
that's because of the ascorbic acid. Okay.
Yeah. So are you saying this Malibu Makeover is specifically a in-salon treatment?
Yes, the Malibu Makeover is specifically for in salon. Yes.
Oh yeah, it says your client's hair at its best. Okay, you're right. It does say that. Okay.
Okay. Yep. So once you get that done in the salon, and let me remind you, this is for all hair. This is for curly hair, straight hair, any sort of texture, anything, colored, virgin, little kids, older people. That second packet in there, the Miracle Repair, is going to be your second step in the salon. That's what's actually going to help close down the cuticle, and it has different proteins in it. So it's going to help just fill in those potholes, as we like to call it, where those minerals have been released from the hair. So those proteins help just kind of fill in, and it's a plant-based protein, so it's not going to over-proteinize the hair, just like how we remember back in the day when it's like too much protein. It will not do that. Okay. It just evens everything out. So that's the second step of that process.
Okay, I have a question. Just looking at these first 2 steps here. Can I see that? I just want to see the face of it again because I had a question. Okay, so the Miracle Repair is ultimately really like a conditioner. I'm taking it, right?
It is a conditioner in a way. It's not meant to be just a conditioner. It's more of like a reconstructor. Okay. As we like to call it, because of the protein that's in it. Yes.
Okay.
So would you use both of these and then do a color service after that?
So this is the trick with the in-salon service. If you are doing just a makeover and no other services that day, you will do your crystal gel and then follow with your Miracle Repair. If you are doing a color service that day, you're going to crystal gel, color, then finish with your Miracle Repair. Okay, the reason is because that Miracle Repair is going to help close down the cuticle.
Right.
And if you're going to go with color, you don't want that closed.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I was confused.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then I have to address the elephant in the room. If so, if you are a curly girl and are following the curly girl method, you're going to take one look at this Miracle Repair and say, this isn't touching me because it's got dimethicone in it. why are you guys using silicone?
There's actually different kinds of silicones. There's certain silicones that will build up on the hair. In the cosmetic industry, it's kind of confusing sometimes when it's hard to explain because the chemist can explain it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain silicones that will build up in hair. Some will not, and they more rinse off of the hair. It's just for a slick factor. So in more of your products, like say that you use just as like styling products, a lot of those silicones will build up in the hair more because it's something that's sitting on the hair. Because that's in there, it just is more for a slip factor, and more of it just rinses right off of the hair.
Okay.
So here's the other thing.
Yeah.
You're also clarifying, so you're removing that, so.
Yeah, but you're clarifying first.
I know. But if you're using their system on a regular basis, you're using clarifiers. So that's probably...
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later too.
Right.
Okay. So how does Curl Partner fit in with those two, or does it not? Or is this a separate standalone type of product?
Okay, so where Curl Repair or Curl Partner comes in is we have a bunch of different packets, such as Scalp Therapy, the Blonde, Curl Partner, all of those other little packets that you see. And that's where people kind of get caught up and they get confused. All of those packets are like what we like to call, so crystal gels, like I said, going to the dentist, right? You're getting your deep clean. These are your maintenance packets. These are your brushing and flossing at home. So once you remove all of that mineral buildup from the hair, then you want to maintain that at home. And we just have different packets specifically for what your hair type is. So those are what clients are going to be using at home once a week, once every other week to help maintain that process that they got done in the salon.
Does it? Okay, then I have a couple of questions related to that. So you're recommending every week to 2 weeks to do this Malibu C makeover, or to do the Curl Partner?
Crystal gel is going to be done, I would say, like quarterly is what I tell my clients. So once every couple months.
Okay.
Once every 2-3 months. Yeah.
Okay.
That's not an all the time thing. Yeah. And
Okay.
then the Curl Partner or any of those other packets, yeah, those are just going to be like once a week, once every other week, just to help maintain in between those.
Okay.
Those appointments.
Okay. So if that's the case, then where do you, Malibu as a company, see this buildup coming from that you're recommending to remove? Are you assuming it's coming from hard water, from minerals in the water, from product buildup? Why are you recommending it, I guess, every 1 to 2 weeks?
That seems like
because it seems like a lot.
It seems like a lot to me, honestly. I was going to ask that as well, because once a week, like a lot of curly hair people wash their hair once a week. So then,
Right.
to be, yeah.
So we like to say that just because, like, I mean, it can go based off of your wash schedule. Because I have clients, yes, that they will go all week and they will go longer without washing. So you kind of fit it into your curl or your wash pattern. I also have people that wash every other day. So it just depends on kind of that's just like a broad amount, like, you know what I mean? Like of where you're going to be fitting that in. But yes, like my daughter, she has curly hair and she doesn't wash her hair for a week and a half in between, and we're just maintaining. So she doesn't get the Curl Partner as often.
Because if you do it too often, don't you feel like it might dry the hair out?
It won't dry the hair out. We have special, like there's certain things in the certain packets because we know that curly hair can become very, very dry.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. It needs moisture. So it has certain things like B5 and different moisturizing properties in it to help maintain that moisture and help preserve that moisture in the hair. That's why it's specifically made. That packet's specifically made for the curly hair.
Okay.
That's why maybe hard water wouldn't be as great for curly hair because that has a special need. Curly hair definitely has a special need.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right. That tells me. Have you got any other questions, Melanie, or you want me to get into some of these?
So then are you guys getting away, because now you have all these specific little packets, so are you getting away from really using the undo goo, or at what point, and for what are you using that? Because that has a pH of 9.
Yes, undo goo is what we use in the salon. So before I do a crystal gel service, I will use that because that's going to remove product buildup. The thing about the undo goo is, unlike other clarifiers that I've noticed, even when I would use them on my daughter, or anybody's hair, they're very, very drying. and they make the hair feel very, very dry.
Mm-hmm.
This will not strip out those natural oils in the hair. It just removes that product buildup, and it leaves the hair feeling amazing. I use it on clients all the time just as a normal back bar shampoo. And I use it for, like, I send it home with my clients that do use a lot of product.
Yes.
And they need to just get rid of that product on their hair during their wash schedule. So it's a nice one to have that's not going to dry that out where you feel like you have to put conditioner in right afterwards because you feel like your hair is going to break off.
Right.
It makes the hair feel really soft.
Yeah, and that's how I use it, and we sell a lot of it. Now, how often are you recommending that people use that?
The Malibu Sea Undo Goo?
Yeah.
The Undo Goo, it depends on how much product you're using. Me personally, I put a lot of product in my hair, a lot of texture sprays, things like that. So I actually use it before I use my regular shampoo, just to get some of that buildup off first, and then I go in and get the benefits from my other shampoo that I'm using.
Sure.
So if curly girls are using a certain shampoo for their hair, they can use the Undo Goo first to get rid of some of, any buildup or anything that was on the hair, just to strip anything off of there, get it clean, and then they can go in with their normal curly shampoo to give benefits from that shampoo.
Will the Undo Goo strip buildup from the scalp as well as the hair shaft?
Yes, it will help loosen up some of any of that buildup. Yes.
Do you recommend using it more than once at a time? Like
You mean like
like
shampoo
repeat?
at
Yeah,
times?
like shampoo, rinse, repeat, or is it just a one-time deal? Do you believe?
I normally don't. You absolutely can if you feel like your hair isn't sudsing up, basically. And the reason, I know curly girls a lot of times use products that are a low sulfate and
Right.
the no poo situation or
Right.
anything like that. So once you get that, I would say definitely for curly girls just use it once, and especially just kind of at the scalp, just to kind of loosen up any oils that are up there, anything like that. And
Yeah. That's how I sell a lot of it. And it's really, it does make a difference. I can think of one client in particular that, her curls even started to look kind of, undefined, and she was thinking she was losing it. Well, she was doing two things, pulling her hair back all the time, too much, and then also, just never doing a clarifier. So once she started doing and then a conditioning treatment. So, we changed those three things, and her curls have been amazing. So it really does make a difference. But yeah, that's how I sell it too, is, to do a clarifier on the scalp and the hair.
Yeah. And I have a related question to that. So if, and this is what we do, and we've been recommending for product buildup is especially when it's someone that's coming from another line, to say our line, the Raw Curls line, which is a really clean line, that they would use the Malibu Sea Undo Goo, which we sell on our website as well, to to clarify, to get the product built up off of the hair shaft and off their scalp, and then start by deep conditioning with like the Raw Curls conditioner, and then moving forward from there. My question with that statement is, in your experience, do you see, and this is going to relate to not just people with curly hair, but I guess, straight hair, any hair in general. Do you believe that that there's an equal amount of people that have both mineral buildup and product buildup, especially in the curly hair market, or is it one or the other, or does it just depend? In other words, is the Malibu Sea Undo Goo that we would recommend, is that enough for a clarifying treatment from someone coming from, say, a drugstore brand and wanting to use a higher quality product? Is Undo Goo enough, or should the mineral, it's not called the mineral repair, what is it called? I can't think of what that thing's called.
The crystal gel.
Yeah, the crystal gel what are your thoughts? What's your professional opinion on that?
So here's the way I look at it. Everybody's washing their hair in water, okay? So all water in the United States and anywhere has minerals. And I feel like you kind of mentioned earlier, I feel like there's more of a mineral issue than we've ever had before, because I see more and more issues, people coming in with limp hair. Their hair it feels damaged, but it's not really damaged. They're lacking shine. They have no volume. There's no movement to it, all of those issues. And I feel like 10 years ago, we didn't see that as much. It was more of a product issue.
Mm-hmm.
People were having more product buildup. I feel like now just the water that we have is so rich in those minerals and other chemicals that they're putting in there that is causing an issue for us as stylists. And so all of our clients use water at home. We all shower, hopefully. And so I feel like that those minerals need to be addressed. And that's kind of where Malibu C comes in, is addressing that issue so that you can address any other issues that your clients have as far as like lack of volume. And that's how I kind of discovered Malibu, was my daughter with her curly hair. I thought she was losing her curls. And yeah, because she has beautiful, beautiful textured hair, like my dream hair. And her curls were so limp, and I was like, what is happening? I'm using great products. Like, I'm doing everything right. And I was like, what is going on with her curls? Well, I actually did a Malibu crystal gel treatment on her hair, and all of those minerals came off of her hair, and her hair was the shiniest, curliest, most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah. It was because all those minerals are weighing that hair down. So she was losing her curl pattern. And I see my curly clients coming in a lot saying, I'm not happy with my curls. I just want to wear it straight. I have uneven curl pattern. I can't get it to do what it wants, like what I want it to do. And I'm like, well, let's address this, because I feel like it's a mineral issue. Those minerals are heavy. They're rocks, essentially, when you think about it, that are in our water. And rocks are heavy, so that weighs those curls down.
Interesting.
So taking that off of there, they can actually see what their real curly hair is like. And I always tell my curly hair clients, I want you to enjoy your curls. I want you to love your curls and be able to manage them. And a lot of them were having issues with that. So that's why I always address it first, by getting rid of the minerals in the hair, and then we can see what we're working with.
So now when you have that situation like you're talking about with your daughter or your clients, and you do the crystal gel treatment, you're putting them under the dryer typically for how long on average?
For my first client that ever gets a crystal gel treatment, I put them under for 45 minutes, because that's going to remove the most amount that you can. Yeah.
So maybe that's...
A lot of people have... A lot of people have time issues with that, especially in the salon. I can do a haircut in 45 minutes. So a lot of the times I have my clients come in, and while they're processing under the dryer, I will fit another client in, and then we just finish with their service after that.
And it's you know, I mean, I guess that when people see the benefit, but it's a long time for someone to sit under a dryer too. They get antsy with that.
People do get antsy, yes. But I've noticed that my clients, when they see the results and how their hair feels, it's totally worth it to them.
Good.
Because now they're not being able to, like, they're not having to use as much product. Their products are working better. Their hair is more manageable. So that's where they see the benefit in it. And I have clients that call me and ask me for it, and they're like, I feel like I need one of the treatments again.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the curly cut. They start to realize, it's time, I need it again, because the curls just aren't working. They're triangling or mushrooming out or whatever.
Absolutely.
So what do you charge for something like that? Because that's a lot of time.
In my town, I live in a smaller town, so it's kind of your market, anywhere from $25 to $50. It depends on where your market is and how much you need, like how much you want for that time. So
do you do like
haircut price or
yeah, that's what I was thinking, or like the price of a conditioning treatment, but it's really kind of tooth treatments, because you're doing the you're doing the removal and then the repair.
Absolutely. What are you, Rockford, Mundelein, something like that?
I'm actually about an hour away from Rockford.
Yeah. Okay.
One more question about the Undo Goo. Is that considered sulfate free? Or is that
it does have a sulfate, but is not a color stripping sulfate.
Okay,
yeah.
That was literally my next question for her was, okay, if you're recommending this to be done every one or 2 weeks, and it is, my God, this stuff's got to be horrible on color services, right? Because it's got to be stripping it out.
Nope, it doesn't strip it out. I actually
How?
Undo Goo on all my color clients.
How? I don't get it.
It's true.
There's different sulfates, and like it's hard to explain, because our chemist had to explain all this to me, because I was like, what do you mean? Like, everything, you're supposed to be sulfate free. the cosmetic industry is so confusing when there's different products, like different things used, like even alcohols. When people get rid of alcohol products, alcohol can be used as a conditioning agent.
Correct.
Different sulfates. There's different sulfates, and they do different things.
Mm-hmm. So even with weekly use, not pulling color out of the strand.
I'm sorry?
I said, so even with weekly use, you're not seeing it stripping color out of the strand.
No, I actually use it on my hair, and I have divots in my hair. So,
yeah, because I actually use this product, and I see it's a coconut base, a sulfate. So, and then the next ingredient is the cocamidopropyl butane, and that is a conditioning agent. So
it's not what I know a lot of you ingredient readers are thinking. It's coconut oil. It's not in the way that you think of it. It's not.
But
the way you guys are thinking
know
of it,
these
it's
two
not.
ingredients. So that is like she's saying, it's a gentle sulfate, and then followed right after that with a conditioning agent. So that's why it's working the way that she says, and it's true. Because I use this when we do keratin treatments. You have to, and I do color, and then you have to use a clarifying cleanser, and then before you do the keratin. So I always use the Malibu Undo Goo because of that, and it doesn't. So I color the hair, use the Undo Goo, and then do the keratin treatment, and I have not had a problem with it washing color out at all. So so I continue to use that one.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next. Well, there's only two of them, really. Let's go to the second biggest elephant in the room in this situation. Yeah, there's a lot of elephants around here. I love elephants. Anyway,
St. Patty's.
That's a fun fact.
Oh.
I love elephants and dolphins and whales. I do.
I didn't even know that.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Elephants since when?
I always.
What?
Because they're really smart, lumbery, kind of like whales. Anyway, so here's the other elephant in the room. So. What we're seeing right now, obviously, I'm sure you are, and most professionals in the industry are seeing that there's lots of people showing up voicing that they've got scalp issues from using Diva Curl products. And we're not going to get into the debate of is it ingredients, is it technique, or whatever. We're just going to say those people are coming around. They've got scalp issues in a lot of cases, build up on the scalp issues in general. And a lot of those people are looking to rectify those situations, and in a lot of cases as well, to switch brands and start over. And and we had been recommending one of the Malibu C products to start that. But what I want to ask that process. But what I want to ask you is, if you're talking to those women tonight directly, what would you recommend to someone who's having scalp issues, that's been a Diva Curl product user for, say several years? They're seeing thinning hair, maybe even some hair loss. They're seeing scalp issues, soreness, redness, and whatever, and they want to start over with a clean slate. You, as a Malibu C expert, what would you recommend? What would you tell that woman today to do? What would be your game plan for them?
Honestly, I would tell them to make an appointment with your stylist and get a full crystal gel, because in my opinion, I feel like you said, I'm not going to get totally into it, like what it is, like that's causing all of that with the product.
Sure. Yeah. And that's why I asked it the way I asked it.
Right.
Yeah.
Crystal gel is going to help alleviate anything on the scalp also, as far as like if there is any buildup that's suffocating follicles, any of that. I feel like that's a good start, just to get rid of anything that is on the hair first, so you can start going into another pattern. If you can't get a full crystal gel from a stylist, the scalp therapy packets are great for any scalp issues, and having that vitamin C in it is healing. So if there's any soreness, like redness, any of those sores that they have, that's going to help alleviate that, and it will remove some of the surface like minerals from that scalp also, so that they can, kind of start fresh and move into whatever process they're going to be doing as far as product routines.
Now, how is that one different as far as percentages of the vitamin C? Because vitamin C honestly can have a bite to it, because it is acidic, and so
Yeah.
that can be actually a little irritating on the scalp. So
It can be, and we always tell people if you get a little bit of that irritation, it's because it's healing. I mean, essentially that's what it's doing, because the vitamin C is going in trying to heal whatever is hurting and whatever sore or any of that. So yes, if there is open abrasions on the scalp, you have to be a little bit more mindful, just because you can have a little bit of that, like you said, a little bite to it, because it will try to heal it.
yeah, because
Sure.
a lot of times people that have scalp irritation, they're scratching. So they could have a scratch that's open, definitely, and feel more irritated when they use the products. So that's good to know. And then, so if they continue to use it, it should alleviate that then.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Is that the one that says not to use on white hair? There's one.
No, that's actually the crystal gel, and we just advise. So.
Oh, it comes in a silver packet. I thought it was a scalp one. It was a scalp therapy.
Scalp therapy, any of the packets, so like all of the packets have vitamin C, and white hair doesn't have any pigment in it. So when vitamin C goes on non-pigmented hair, it actually likes to go in and sit in the place where the melanin used to be, and it'll actually caramelize, causing like a pink tint to it. Because it's just what it wants to do. Like it's trying to fill in where that melanin used to sit.
Okay.
So like shampooing really, really well if you're doing it on a white hair client is what we recommend. Doing it twice just to make sure you get all of that out of there.
Okay.
But I do use it on my white hair clients.
Okay.
But,
yeah, because I had someone who was having scalp issues, and I wanted to recommend that, and then it scared me. I was like, yeah, no. It's because it was a guy too. Yeah.
Twice afterwards, and just make sure you're getting it all out. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And the pink hue doesn't last forever. It's just like a temporary thing.
Could be just a little trendy thing.
If it does, it's just a little, baby pink situation.
Easter's coming up. It could be cute.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. You want to get into some viewer listener questions?
Yes.
Okay. Some of them we touched on here, but I'm probably going to ask them anyway. And let me start with that, and we'll go from there. So. Let's see here. All right. Okay, Georgia, I'm curious of the fragrance that's in the Undo Goo shampoo. I'm very allergic and often look for fragrance-free or only organic and natural oils used for scents. Can you tell us what the fragrance ingredients consist of in the Undo Goo shampoo?
They're not necessarily on the ingredient list. It says fragrance, but we use essential oils in our products. So they're not going to be like a high perfume or chemical situation, because all of our stuff is like food grade, like, vegan. We try not to use those high scented artificial fragrances just because we know people have sensitivities to those.
Yay.
Yeah.
So many people that drives me crazy, because these product lines that are natural and organic, and then they use these perfumey synthetic fragrances, and it's like, oh my God. And those are the ones
cheap.
that linger in the hair,
Yep.
People come in from other product lines, and I can tell exactly which one they use, because it smells, in their hairs even when it's dry, and definitely when you wet it, and it's like, oh man.
Okay. All right. Next question. Why use Malibu C instead of a regular clarifying shampoo with sulfates? Why would we use Malibu C?
Like I said before, a lot of clarifying shampoos that you use are going to dry the hair out. So
Too drying, too stripping?
They're going to strip all those natural oils out of the hair too, and that's something we don't want to do, especially if you have curly hair, because they need those natural oils.
Correct.
So that's why it's especially important.
Okay. All right. Next, Georgia, my scalp tends to get greasy by day 2, even if my fine, high porosity hair loves more product for refreshing. Could this be from buildup? How can you tell if the buildup is from hard water or from products? And how often can you wash with a hard water shampoo?
You can actually use the hard water shampoo every day. If my clients are having scalp issues like that, where they feel like their scalp is getting extra oily, it's either one, there's a product or there's a mineral buildup situation. Second, it's because they're washing too much. and their scalp is actually off balance. So their scalp's overproducing those oils.
Or like sebum or something.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like your skin, you know, where people are
Just
using,
like your skin.
yeah, a lot of drying, anti-acne, you know, products to try to get rid of those problems, but then they end up producing more oil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go to another one. Hi, Georgia. I'd like to know, will clarifying Malibu C undo goo or hard water wellness strip toner from color or toner from hair? Or color?
No, it will not strip color or toner. We always say, if you are using something and you feel like your color isn't lasting, it's probably because your hair wasn't prepped prior. So, a little science again. When minerals get into the hair, they live where color lives, right? Under the cuticle, and they like to sit up in there. Minerals live there, color likes to sit there. So, if color is fading very quickly, it could be because there's something else sitting in there next to it, which is minerals. So, when you remove those minerals, if you do like a crystal gel in the salon, it's going to pull out some color because they're actually attached to each other and sitting next to each other. If the hair is fully prepped, you're not going to get any of that fadage because it's sitting in there and living where it needs to be, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your go-to product to prep the hair before a color?
I always use crystal gel. If I'm not using crystal gel, my clients have had that, like their quarterly crystal gel, then I will use Color Prepare.
I was going to say, because they have a color.
Some of the surface buildup.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right.
So that's why I get confused because there's a color prep one, and it's like, when to use that, or, you know, so there's a lot of choices.
Color Prepare is if you don't have time to do a full crystal gel.
Yeah.
If you need to do something, use your Color Prepare, and I actually will send those home with my clients and just tell them, use it 24 hours before you come see me. They've already had their crystal gel. They're in between those appointments. Be like, just use this 24 hours before you come see me to help remove some of the surface minerals.
idea.
So it'll make my job a little bit easier.
Right.
Good idea.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you just brought that up, Melanie, because the next question is is related to this. Same kind of question. Helen, if you have running live questions for live Q&A, come on into the studio now. You don't have to. You just press the bottom white button. Yeah, Melanie.
To restart it?
No, don't restart it. Just no, above.
Share.
Yeah, just share. If you have that any of those live questions, you can come in now. If you don't have live questions, don't bother.
Watch out for Murphy.
All right.
Okay, she went out. What was I going to ask about that with color? Oh, I love the, this is, you know, when I started doing hair and specializing in color correction, there weren't these products to use. So, you know, we had different tricks and techniques, but now the Malibu CPR, oh, I love that. It's so awesome.
Just used it today.
Oh, yeah, it's great because, I mean, a lot of times we can just lift a little pigment out of someone's hair and not even have to, like, recolor it. It's perfect.
Right.
So I love that.
Yeah.
You know, before you had to use like a bleach cap and, you know, all these things. And then it lightens the other hair. So these products that they've come out with are really convenient for us as stylists.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Next question I got related to this is please explain the difference between the hard water wellness shampoo and the hard water packets and when each should be used.
So the packets are going to be, like I said, they're going to be used your weekly, bi-weekly, or whenever your wash pattern is. The shampoo can be used every day. That's just going to help a little bit. It's going to help keep it. It's like regular shampoo and conditioner. It's going to help keep some of that mineral buildup off, but the packets is what we like to say the power's in the packet. So that's what's going to help get the majority of those surface minerals off. So that's when you're going to use that weekly, bi-weekly. The other shampoos and conditioners you can be using every day if you would like, or you can use them every once in a while if you enjoy another shampoo that you get benefits out of. You can alternate and do both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the packets are stronger.
The packets are stronger, yeah.
Okay. All right. You have another question here that you pretty much answered already, but I'll just run it past you one more time. as a yes or no. Any thoughts being given to removing the silicone from your Miracle Repair? That'd be no, right?
Well, that's not her
No.
choice.
Right. I know it's not her choice, but it was the thing.
I mean,
All right. Okay.
That is not my job. I don't get paid for that.
yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Be grateful that you don't.
Be
have
grateful
to make
you
those
don't.
decisions.
Right.
Trust me.
I
All right.
don't do that part.
Okay. All right, Georgia. For people who change brands and products every time they wash, do we still need to clarify when changing brands?
If you're using product, yes.
Okay.
I mean, if you feel like you're getting a buildup from the line that you're using, then absolutely. I just like to have it as a regimen just for any client to use. Just because, I mean, we get stuff built up in our hair. I feel like majority of people are using some sort of product. So I just feel like it's a nice step, especially for the scalp. I mean, yes, for product buildup, but even just for the scalp, just because sometimes our scalps can get a little, clogged up. We need to get some of that stuff off of there. So
Yeah.
So when there's a lot of people that have, end up having itchy scalp. Would you recommend the scalp packet?
yeah,
Okay.
I actually am experiencing that right now because we just got done with winter, kind of, because it snowed today, and I get dry, itchy scalp all the time. So I actually use those packets a lot during the winter time.
Yeah. Do you have like an eczema?
Nope, I don't have eczema. It's just dry scalp. It's just like dandruff.
Okay.
So, but yes, definitely if you have eczema, I actually have a client who is my doctor, and she had psoriasis of the scalp. And she came in and her scalp was bad. And I was like, first things first, we're going to crystal gel you. And so we did that and got rid of everything on her hair. And I gave her a regimen of the scalp therapy shampoo and packet.
Wow.
And she has not had a flare-up of psoriasis on her scalp since. So now she actually recommends all her clients to me, and they come and get it done for them that are having scalp issues.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Georgia, for someone that doesn't have hard water, would you suggest the Malibu Sea Scalp Wellness instead of the Undo Goo?
Nope, I actually would still use Undo Goo. And this is a myth that people like to say. Just because they say, but I don't have hard water, my water is fine. I live in town in my city, and our water is still bad because it still has minerals. So no matter if you live in out in the country, you have a well, you have city water, there's still going to be some sort of minerals because all water has calcium and magnesium. So those are minerals. So you're still going to want to be doing something to address that.
What if you have a purifier like reverse osmosis?
I actually have a couple clients that have that, and we still do it on their hair, and we still see benefits. That's absolutely the best thing you can have, I feel. But there's still going to be some things that leach through.
Oh, cool.
So are they going to get it as much, like going to get a full treatment as often as some other people? Absolutely not. But every once in a while, yes, we will do one just to make sure we're sitting good.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Okay, I've got a stylist question here. Georgia, do you believe the calcium and magnesium attracts products and makes those products less water soluble?
I wouldn't say necessarily essentially yes, because those minerals are actually building up on the hair and the scalp, so they're making your products less effective, I guess, if you want to put it that way. So, I mean, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Do you recommend for people to get soft water in their homes?
No, because soft water will still cause issues. I actually have one of our coworkers from Malibu. She lives in Louisiana, and they have really soft water, and she still sees issues.
She lives in a museum?
She lives in Louisiana, and they have.
Oh, I thought you said a museum. I was like,
thought you said that too.
I was like,
wow,
cool, like that movie, Night at the Museum.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she still has issues with her water, causing issues with her stylist. So it's not even about the hard water; it's just the stuff in the water in general.
Well, a lot of times they're using water softeners, so they're just putting salt in there. So, like you say, just kind of like now the trend has been the saltwater pools, but you still have to add other chemicals. So, anyway, there's still issues.
Okay. All right. We got any more questions? Let me see here. I think we got one
Well,
more.
I have a question
Oh,
too,
wait. We
yeah.
have two more. Melanie's got one. You go ahead, and then I'll go to this other one.
I'm looking at the picture that you submitted with your purple hair, and which looks awesome. So, are you saying that if you use like this treatment and the color prepare before you still recommended doing the crystal gel treatment before coloring? The fashion colors you're getting longer lasting results with them because typically they wash out quite quickly.
Yes, because those minerals are going to sit in that hair, like I said, just with any color. But as we know, direct dyes and any of those vivid colors are sitting more on the outer surface of the hair.
Right.
So getting rid of all of that is going to help the longevity of that, of those vivids for sure.
So how long do you think you get them to last?
It depends on your client's washing schedule. If they're listening to you and doing what they're supposed to, you can get quite a bit of longevity out of it. Also, how their hair was lifted prior. If it's super porous, then clearly it's going to fade quickly. But as long as you're taking proper steps, I feel like, prepping the hair first, not damaging the hair, making sure they're having treatments on it. I'm not washing it. Like, your vivids are going to last quite a long time.
Cool.
Okay, cool. All right, I've got one more question also from the YouTube channel tonight. Let me find it. Okay, do you ever offer training in Canada? This must be a stylist.
We actually do. We actually have an educator that's located in Canada. So if they're looking for like in salon or just like anything like that, they can actually email education@malibuc.com and request a class if they want to.
Okay, great. Education@malibu.com.
Malibu.
Malibuc.com. Okay, good. Just want to get that clear. Okay, that's it. That's all I got for questions. You got anything else, Melanie?
I don't think so.
You don't
That
think
was
so?
a lot.
That was a lot. Yeah.
That was really informative. Thank you.
And it went fast because I just looked at the time and I'm like, that went fast. That's a lot. So if other than the Malibu C Undo Goo, that if you wanted it, you can find it easily at rawhairorganics.com. Just want to throw that out there. We have it.
Awesome.
Ooh.
We've been carrying it.
I did.
It's
think
hard
of
to keep
another
in stock, but we have.
question.
Oh, all right. I can't wrap it up. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
just thought of another question.
Go ahead.
Because there's also that Swimmers product. There's a Swimmers shampoo and conditioner. So how does that differ from any of these other ones that we talked about? Because I know here in Florida, people are swimming all year round.
So that was just going to be a little bit more gentle on the hair. And the reason is because when people are swimming, your pools have high amounts of chlorine. So when you think of chlorine, it's a bleach. So just think of you bleaching your hair consistently if you're in the pool. It just helps remove, again, minerals from the hair, but it's going to be a little bit more gentle because that hair is going to be a little bit more fragile because it's been exposed to chlorine.
Okay. And I know I've been asked this before. Should they use it every time they go swimming, or do you what do you recommend?
What we recommend is if you, like, say you're going swimming, we have a lot of kids that have, like, lessons here, like swim lessons. Once you get out of the pool and you're kind of rinsing yourself off, use it while you're rinsing off.
So, like, every day?
Yeah. So it'll help prevent any, as we say, swimmer's green hair, which is not caused from chlorine. It's actually caused from copper sulfate in the chemicals of the pool. And then that chlorine is actually oxidizing that and making it turn green. So yeah, if you, especially for your blondies, because that's where it's going to show up the most.
Yeah, it's typically from algicides and draws the copper out of those, copper-based algicides, and from the heat exchangers of pool heaters that use copper heat exchangers. That's where it comes from. Everybody thinks it's chlorine. It's not. It's not.
It's not.
They just
Chlorine
know it's from the pool.
They just know it's from the pool.
Worse.
Right, exactly.
Yes. Okay, great. I'm glad I remember that because that's like a big question.
Yeah. Okay, so other than the Malibu C Undo Goo that you can find at rawhairorganics.com, any of these other Malibu products, where can they be found? And if people have questions, where would they go to get their answers?
Actually, if you are a stylist, we carry them at State RDA, Cosmopolitan, Centric, all of those beauty supply places, or you can go directly to MalibuSeed.com and you can get information. All of the products have information on them on the website for if you are just a client and you're wanting to understand more. All of that information will be on there. And if you are a stylist, you can make a professional account. And we are launching our new academy coming up soon where you can watch videos and then take a quiz and become Malibu Seed certified so that you understand the ins and outs of Malibu and how to use it in your salon and teach it to your clients.
Mm-hmm. What about consumers?
Consumers can, if they are looking for a Malibu Seed and they can't find it in a salon near them, they can actually purchase the product straight from MalibuSeed.com also.
Okay. All right. Good.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Georgia, for
awesome.
filling in last minute. And
Absolutely.
How's your color going, by the way?
I'm about to blow dryer, so we're actually doing perfect on timing.
Oh, good.
Perfect. Good.
Wonderful.
Good. Wonderful. Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate you filling in at the last minute for Missy Bender Peterson.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, we hope she's feeling better soon,
Oh,
and
Hope so too.
if you talk to her, we wish her well, and I'll be in touch with her in a couple of days anyway. So, well, great. Well, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon. If we need you to come on again, would you be willing to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, if we get any other questions, I'll let you know about that if we need to have you come on. And sometimes we'll get a plethora of questions that come through afterwards that people think of, a week after the interview's done. So.
Oh, I know how it goes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So anyway, well, thanks again, and have a great week, and
Happy St. Patrick's.
we'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
Well, there you guys have it. What'd you think, Melanie?
That was good. It was really informative.
It was very informative,
I know
yeah.
myself, I would get confused about what to use when and how often, and so that was really helpful. I think, it was good information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought so.
Good product, good information.
Yeah, good product, good information. So. Good, wonderful. Okay, all right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, I know it ran a little bit long, but like I said, sometimes we do go long on interviews, but that one went pretty fast just because there was so much. Yeah, there was so much good information. Yeah, we talk fast. So anyway, okay. All right, great. We'll see you guys next week for episode 162. We got another interview next week with a curly hair stylist, and I'll give you the updates for questions on that probably next week, Saturday or Sunday, in the groups on Facebook and on the Instagram. We'll start fielding those. So anyway, have a great curly hair week, and we'll see you next Monday.
Safe and be healthy.
Yeah. Bye-bye.